What's going on? It is Jason here. As you can tell, there's a reason why I don't have autofocus on, so you're not, it says embrace the grind, but man, mighty good coup pack. Boop, boop. Let me just sign in. At gmail.com. Sorry, I'm just setting up. What up, Sean? How you doing, man? So, yeah, I figured out a way to get my computer, my OBS linked to my chat on my YouTube. So, Sean, I see you. I'm doing good, man. I am too blessed to be stressed, too grateful to be hateful. One of the things that I do want to put a precursor on is the look of this image. I am shooting actually on some Cine glass, and so I don't have autofocus. That's why the whole little thing wasn't going to work where you're able to see that, because I'm not shooting auto, because Cine glass doesn't have auto and I don't have a LiDAR system, so therefore, it's all manual, baby. And yeah, so my focus may be a little soft because I can't really get to my cams because I'm shooting on a 35. But yeah, how you doing, man? How you doing, Sean? It's great to see you, man. Thanks for hopping into the live and hanging out. Greatly appreciate you. And basically, for those that are new to the channel, or if you're tuning in later, my name is Jason. I'm a videographer editor for a marketing agency, and I typically go live every Sunday, hang out, tell you how my week's going, and then we'll hop into some YouTube analytics and go over to the back end of my YouTube, and I like to share the wealth with all of you. And I have not seen my analytics, so I got a little bit of a setup so we can all kind of walk through it together and see how the channel's doing. And it's exciting. I used to have a goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers. My goal, I did not meet my goal, but I'm still progressing towards that. And I'll get there when I get there, but you guys are helping me grow this channel, so I want to take you guys along with me on this journey. And so, what's up, Josh Diaz? Dude, I am blown away that you hopped into my live, man. You're like that tier of creator that's like on a whole nother level to me. And for you to hop in and hang out for a minute or two just to say hi is stellar, man. I greatly, greatly appreciate you, dude. You're inspiring, your content's beautiful. And I'm excited for you that you've taken this journey to be a full-time creator. That's so awesome and equally is inspiring. So, yeah, man. So we broke in the Cine glass. We had a shoot in Prescott, Arizona, which is about a 2-hour drive from where we live here in Phoenix. And we headed up there. I knew I wanted to shoot on the Cines, but I wasn't really quite sure, because it's a construction company and it's a lot of moving fast, and it's really challenging to be able to sit there and try to nail focus when things are shifting, grooving and moving, man. You're sitting here trying to nail focus, and it's a bit of a challenge. So I was a little reluctant on breaking it out and testing out the Cines on the shoot, but it's a client that wants a film look. It's like a gritty documentary style project that they want to pour into. So I was like, let's give it a shot. The producer on the shoot with me. We both started using the cinema glass that we got, and we got the Rokinon Zine set, I believe. Yeah, the Rokinon Zine set. We got the 14 millimeter all the way to the 135. And for me, I love the 35. That's what I'm shooting on right now on my FX3 is a 35. It is a beautiful lens, but it was it was quite a bit of a challenge when we're on these sites trying to nail focus and move, and because you typically, when you're on these sites, you kind of want to just be a fly on the wall. You don't want to get in their way. It's challenging sometimes having them stop and redo things over so you can get the shot. We typically don't like to get into people's Kool-Aid like that. But for this, I knew the client would be a lot more forgiving, and we are using our best judgment. They're there for us to capture them. So we took a little bit of extra time to try to nail those shots on the cinema glass that we used. And for the most part, it was awesome. We got a lot of stellar shots, a lot of cool shots, but there was some shots that we did actually end up missing focus on. I was scrubbing through the footage and I was like, no, it's so frustrating. We do have enough shots to tell the story, and I think the client is going to be extremely happy. But there was a lot of shots that we aren't going to be able to use because we just didn't nail the focus like I thought we were. That is where peaking on your cams comes into play. I was using an external monitor. I have a few Atomos monitors that I've used, and for me, having peaking on was a lifesaver. But it could be tricky sometimes because you get that red peaking line or whatever color you like to set on your monitors. I had red, and I thought I was all the way in focus. What I needed to have focus was red, but it wasn't as red as it could have been. So I was a little soft on some of my shots with the focus, and I was a little bummed out. But overall, I think we have enough to tell the story. It's going to be awesome. The client wants a bunch of B-roll stuff for their socials, and then plus help their website and a bunch of other commercials that they're looking at doing. I think we got enough to tell the story. So I'm really, really happy that we got this set. The producer was really happy. He loved the images. He shot primarily on the 50 and an 85, and then I shot primarily on a 35 to 24, and I was really extremely impressed. Utilizing the ability to hit those shots, especially where cinema glass kind of rated high for me, is when you get those flares. We got a lot of dope sun flares that came in, and you're able to like see the way that the sun is hitting your glass or lights, for example, because we did do a lot of shooting at night. Having the flare of the light move with the subject and the way that it, that creates those little sun flare balls and all that stuff just floated across the image, like raked the image, I was blown away. It was super exciting. And we had a couple amazing shots like that, and me and my producer were just like, yeah. It just fired us up when we started looking at some of the shots, and we're like so stoked. But yeah, that was the journey. It was a 4-day shoot that we had in Prescott, and it went really, really well. A lot of early mornings and middays. I mean, it was fun. It was a little chilly there. The Alaska has rubbed off on my blood is thinned because it was like 30 something degrees in Prescott, and I was cold. I mean, I did layer up. I had gloves, but it's really hard to shoot in gloves. I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but me shooting with gloves was kind of tricky, so I didn't wear my gloves a lot. But man, my blood is thinned. This boy can't hang in cold weather anymore. Too much time here in Arizona. And it was so cold. But it was a lot of fun. I'm glad that we had a good time. There was 3 of us that went on the shoot. So we had the producer, which is Robbie, awesome creative dude, then myself, videographer, and then we had my boy Lufa, aka Spencer, on the shoot as the photographer. He's a diehard BMX guy, really talented photographer, BMX rider, and he was with us to capture some stills. So I think we were really stoked and happy with the shoot. So that was my last week, man. It was intense, but it was a lot of fun. So yeah, cheers to that. But what else happened while we were there? I got to go to this really cool place called the Granite Dells. So it's just like this granite formation that's all around Prescott with a lake at the bottom. Man, it was so beautiful. And just being in that landscape and nature like that and seeing kind of where Spencer grew up, because Spencer's from there, it was a lot of fun. And that was a beautiful location. So if you're ever in Prescott, go check out the Granite Dells. Go check out that lake. It is very stellar. It was good to be there, kind of freeing, just kind of sitting and relaxing in nature and just seeing what God created was super beautiful. And then what else? Oh, we shot a super short film because we stayed in an epic Airbnb. It was a 70s theme, I think. So it had a lot of 70s retro furniture inside, you know, kind of like a weird yellow kitchen with a matching fridge and all the appliances matched. And we're like, we need to shoot something in here. We were tired because we had early mornings, long days. And then we were like, we were all fired up to shoot this thing. And then towards the end of the night, after we went and had dinner, we were like, I don't know if I really have the energy to shoot something right now, because it was a series of 16 shots that I wanted to capture this little short and just, you know, express my creativity and practice, you know, because it was a night shoot. We had a light shining through the window, kind of represent moonlight, and some, you know, abstract lights set up around the house. And so we shot it. We got fired up. Once we got the first shot fired off, we were kind of motivated to take it to the end. So yeah, that's what we did one of the nights, and we got to bed late, but it was okay because we had a lot of fun shooting a little short. So I'm probably going to do a video about the short and the whole, you know, how I felt about the cinema glass. So that's coming. I'm putting that together right now, showcasing the short, and then our thoughts on utilizing cinema glass versus photo lenses. I kind of did an overall, my last video talking about us getting the cinema lenses, but never really diving into like the hands-on usage of it. I'll probably go into that a little bit more in detail in my next video that's coming up that I'm going to post on my YouTube. So yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked about the short. I'm chopping it together right now. It's going to be super short because it's only 16 shots. I think we got to tell a quick little story, but just to flex our creativity and hang out, and we all kind of get motivated by that. So yeah, looking forward to doing that. So that also happened this past week. And then this weekend, it was hanging out with the kids. Wife went thrifting and sourcing. I did have a Celebrate Recovery meeting on Saturday for our leaders. That was a lot of fun. So got a good meeting and got to hang out with some of my folks from Celebrate Recovery. Ran production. I run some of the production there. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Today, I'm stoked because we took this kid this kid. I can't speak. We took our kids to this really dope place called Mini City, and it's a giant indoor play park for kids. Relatively new. It's right next to, they have this place called Rebel Surf. It's an outdoor surf park here in Arizona that's under construction, but they have a majority of it up and running. I just think it's closed for the season right now. But right next door to that, they had mini city, which was a dope place to bring your kids to go run around. They had giant slides in there. They had these little air compressed guns where you can shoot these little balls everywhere, a little place for toddlers. And then they had this really cool, I would call it like that ninja course thing that they do on TV. They had a little thing like that for the kids where they got these tubes popping out, pushing kids off these little square things along the walls, and they have to climb up and down and over and try to get to the other side. It was pretty dope. It was a fun spot to take the kids, so they were stoked. They had a great time. They didn't want to leave, but we kind of bribed them to go get Culver's, which is a burger joint here, because my son loves a bacon Swiss burger. That's like his favorite. So we bribed them to go get some Culver's, and yeah, and then we came home. So that was pretty much our Sunday, and then I'm filming this live. So yeah, that's where we're at. I do want to talk about a film I watched last night called Bugonia. I'm a huge Yorgos fan. I mean, here's the thing. I love good redemption movies. Like, that's why I like a lot of Korean films like Old Dog and, Parasite and things of that, because they really know how to shoot and tell a story about redemption and revenge. Great, great film. Yorgos kind of taps into that in some of his films, which I admire. He's a phenomenal storyteller and filmmaker. I love Dogtooth, which I don't recommend. It was recommended to me by my buddy Fedorsky, Starling Birch. He recommended Yorgos a long, long time ago, and he kind of put me on to Yorgos, and I started watching like Kinds of Kindness. Lobster obviously is a big one that a lot of people know, but then Poor Things, that was with Emma Stone. Kinds of Kindness had Emma Stone in them in it as well. He kind of uses a lot of those same actors that get his creative style. But yeah, Bugonia was a solid film. I loved it. I hope that Emma wins an Oscar for her performance in that film, but who's to say? I think the Oscars have kind of shifted from back in the day. There used to be all these big budgeted movies, that were heavily invested in, that probably came out, 10 movies in a month that kind of made the list of Oscars. But now it's like, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. Super dope, man. Eating late dinner. Yeah, man. Dude, I'm just stoked that you hopped in. Appreciate you. If you haven't seen Bugonia, check that film out. It's pretty great, man. I loved it. I don't like recommending films to people because I got a weird palate when it comes to films. So I'm leery when I'm telling people to go watch things because my taste is kind of obscured, and I don't want to have somebody watch a movie and then they were totally grotesque by it or whatever the case may be, and they're like, I can't believe you recommended that film to me. So I tend not to recommend films, but for me, I loved Bugonia. It was a great film. Like I said, I hope Emma wins an Oscar for it because she was just stellar. Yeah, she did an amazing job in that movie. But yeah. Oh, you seen it, Sean? Yeah, dude. I mean, it's a good film. Jeremy Plevins, he's like the supporting actor in the film as well. He did a phenomenal job. The thing I like with Yorgos is he sits on scenes. He keeps you in it in a weird way, and he makes you think about things, but then also gives you this sense of being uncomfortable in his, what he portrays through the lens. And it's just like, he is a phenomenal storyteller when it comes to that. And yeah, and he did not miss the mark when it came to this Bugonia film, because there were some parts that I felt really uncomfortable. And then there's the typical, I don't want to spoil the movie. Definitely go check it out if you haven't watched it. But I'm saying that loosely because I don't want you to come back and chop my head off or something because I told you to go watch that. Same thing with Dogtooth. It's a very unique film. Again, a Yorgos film. Take that however you want to take it. He is an interesting dude and an interesting filmmaker. I remember somebody once told me to go watch that movie Tusk with Justin Long. I thought he told me it was a comedy. Bugonia is kind of a dark comedy in a sense, but he told me to go watch Tusk, and he said it was just like a rom-com or something. Then I watched that movie, and I think I watched it with my wife, and she was like, "What kind of disgusting movie is this?" It was, yeah. That's why I was like, man, take whatever somebody says with a grain of salt. Do your research first before you watch any film. But yeah, that was my mistake. Yeah. Yeah, check out Dogtooth. It is subtitled, but I prefer watching films in their original format. You know, it is subtitled, so you're going to have to read unless you can speak Greek. I think he's a Greek filmmaker. I think it's in Greek. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, great movie. Very interesting. It's a Yorgos film for sure. So, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much my week. That's how everything turned out. I am still using those little Zins because I quit smoking. It's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm on day 7 of no cigarettes, which is, yeah. I talked to my buddy Joseph today, which was a good chat to catch up with him. He's another creator that I enjoy chatting it up with, and you know, talking and catching up, because he genuinely cares about our friendship. He just is a good dude, and it's fun to keep, you know, to have those friendships with people, you know. So caught up with him, you know, I think we talk once a week or so. But yeah, he's a good dude, man. He helps me too, you know, spitballing some things, helps me with my faith, because for a while there I was kind of wrestling with my faith. I'm kind of in a place now where that's calmed down, and I'm putting my, you know, practice into, you know, praying, you know, set my prayer time, you know, when I wake up in the morning before I go to bed at night, getting into scripture, just practicing my intentionality with growing my faith. And it's hard to do when you got a lot of noise around you, but I know that I believe in God. God has delivered me from some pretty dark things, and I just need to be more diligent at practicing those things for sure. So yeah, which is, it can be hard sometimes because I'm a human being, man. There's things that, you know, I have to constantly pray to God that I be less like Jason and more like Jesus when I'm just dealing with things, because I'm a broken man, and when Jason wants to handle business, it's not a lot of good outcomes when that when that happens. So I got to be more diligent, and that's what I've been doing. I've been praying a lot more, praying in the morning, praying at night, getting into scripture. I'm really in this place where I kind of want to create, you know, we have an opportunity to share our testimonies at Celebrate Recovery, and I'm kind of rewriting my testimony in line with the story of Judas, and that's kind of like what's been poking at me here lately, is just telling it from a perspective of kind of in Judas's place. You know, for those that don't know, he's the one that, you know, basically sold out Jesus in a sense for, I think it was 30 pieces of silver. And yeah, so there's a whole thing, you know, and I'm kind of getting in the weeds a little bit, but yeah, I'm sitting here wanting to do that, and that's kind of been on my mind lately, and rewriting my testimony and sharing that at Celebrate Recovery. So I've been practicing those principles and getting more into praying, my discipline in reading scripture, doing devotionals, and my faith has kind of grown, and I've kind of got out of that whole wrestling with my faith thing. So yeah. But what else? So yeah, that's been pretty much my week. I kind of want to, I kind of ramble a little bit. Sorry about that. I want to dive into my YouTube analytics. And like I explained earlier, I go over my analytics every week just to see how the channel's doing. I do have a switcher here, so I'm going to have to minimize this so you guys don't see the inception wall that happens when I switch over. So I'll go ahead and do that now. I got a talking head, still learning to talk on my talking head cam right here. I have my switcher right here so I can hop back and forth. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and dive into some YouTube analytics. And what I like to do is just walk through the analytics, kind of look at the top 3 that I feel are important, and that's views, watch hours, and subscribers. That's what I consider the top 3. I'll take those numbers and look at them on overall arching month view of where we are as a channel, but then I'll dive into comparing it this week to the previous week, just to see if there's like any shift. Sometimes the channel does really well, sometimes the channel doesn't do very well, sometimes the channel stays stagnant. And a lot of it is how much I'm pouring into YouTube to get it to like hit those algorithms and find my audience. And I'm sure YouTube has a challenge with my kind of content because I'm just a dude who likes to create and I don't really have a niche, and I'm just kind of putting things together from my perspective and sharing them. I don't do the thumbnails with the words on them. I don't do what most people probably would do to grow their channel, because to me it's about creating and building a community of people that like what I am creating and putting it out there, and and that's kind of where it falls. So I'm sure YouTube has a hard time trying to find my audience, but it's getting out there. The channel has had some uptick and I'm enjoying that because the community is growing strong. I've made some good friends from this, and I got to meet other creators that are freaking awesome and learn from them and grow from watching their content. That helps me, and it puts it all in perspective. And I think that's why this platform is so powerful and important for somebody like myself who, it's therapeutic for me to get out here and just share my experience, strength, and hope with all of you guys. And if there's something I can provide to you, I do my best to try to do that. So let's go ahead and hop into YouTube. So I'll go over here, put picture in picture so you can see me. Let's move myself down to the bottom, and then let's get into some YouTube numbers. So we'll open up YouTube here. Hopefully this is showing, I'm not sure. Hey, there's Sean right there. I'm gonna watch this video in a minute, man. I'm looking forward to watching it. So yeah, that's awesome. There's my Ronald Rises, another awesome creator. Cam Mackey, Justin Phillips, man. I enjoy his content. He usually goes live when I go live. So, oh yeah, here's another thing. Cool, Alex Honnold just climbed the skyscraper that was live on Netflix. Was it yesterday? I was too immersed in the Bugonia film, so I didn't even... I'm going to have to check that out. He is a stellar dude as well. Just very, very intense guy. But, all right, I digress. See, I get distracted really easily. So let's go ahead and open up YouTube Studio. Here we go. All right, so here's kind of... Let's go into analytics. Here is what the channel has done in the last 28 days. So kind of a month view. I've gotten 11,000 views, 104 watch hours, and 15 new subscribers. Wow, that is awesome. And for those that are new, that have subscribed, thank you so much for coming along with me on this journey. And for those that are subscribers, same thing. Thank you guys. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. So let's dive into what I was saying, comparing it week by week. So you have to go up here and this, you go down to custom. So you got to customize the time frame. So I take it to yesterday and then the previous Saturday. So that's this previous week, or that's this week. And then I'll compare it to this week up here. So I hit apply. Well, there we go. I got 4.6K views, which is awesome. 31 watch hours, and I didn't get any new subscribers, which is okay. That's going to happen. The channel's going to go through some ebb and flows. It's not the end of the world if I see a line there or 0. Sometimes I've seen it say -5 before, which is always like, oh, that hurt. But it's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of Kupak, man. I'm not everybody's. They're going to get annoyed that I ramble and I'm talking about nonsense and I'm talking about films like Dogtooth. They're like, what is this dude even about? So I get it. So they bail, which is totally fine. Nobody's under, I'm not holding anybody by gunpoint. You're all free to choose and pick and choose the content that you enjoy watching. This is just what I'm doing. And I'm trying to grow the channel organically. So yeah, I'm building an excuse. That's what I'm tracking. I'm trying to justify why I didn't get any subscribers this week, which is totally okay. It's not, I'm not going to, cry over that. It's totally fine. I might cry later, but I'm just joking. All right, now I want to do is compare it to the previous week. So this is actually good. That's typically a little above average than what I normally get a week. Normally I'm getting anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 views a week. So that's a little bit of an uptick, which is positive in a sense. This is decent too, 31 watch hours. That's, to me, it's growth and I enjoy it. So let's go ahead. When you need to compare it to the previous week, you have to go up here to advanced mode. So let's go up to advanced mode, and then you go add comparison, and then I'm going to add it, and then I'm going to go period over period, which is a weird, but it makes sense. Here we go. All right, like I said, man, the previous week, which is everything in purple, I got 2,500 views, a little over 2,500 views. This week, I got 4,500 views, which is an uptick, which is freaking awesome. And everything below it is all the content that people have watched to get that number. So that was the previous week. This is this week. These are all the videos that add up that number. And then I like looking at that, and I'm just going over the top 3. So this was views. Now I'm going over to watch hours. So here we go. All right, watch hours, a little down than the previous week. The previous week I got 33 watch hours. This week I got 31. So again, this is all the content that made up those numbers. And that's watch hours. Now I like to go to subscribers. Boom. So yeah, here we go. The previous week I got 10 new subscribers, which is freaking awesome. And then this week I got 0, which is still awesome. That's okay, Subscribers come and go. I notice my channel numbers because I have small numbers. When somebody leaves, I feel that. that hits me because my channel is so small right now. And so when somebody leaves, you kind of notice those things. And then when you don't get any subscribers, you kind of notice those things too. But it's all gravy. It is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. All right, so that is awesome. So that's the top 3. What I like to do now is remove the comparison and then go over some other stuff that I like to geek out on. And that is up in here, I like looking at the geography, seeing where people tuned in from, which is so cool. So Australia is in second place. A lot of people from Australia are tuning into my content. Well, not a lot, but a lot more than there was before. The 152 views come straight from Australia. Thank you, Australia. Yeah. And then Canada, the United Kingdom, Indonesia, India, Germany, South Africa, Netherlands, and Sweden. Yes, worldwide, baby. This is so awesome to just see this. To me, it just makes me happy. And I mean, I'm sure, like, I don't know. I know some creators, like, create different YouTube channels and then they kind of dub them to the language of whatever their biggest or second biggest, audience is. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just putting everything in English and throwing it on my channel. And just to have this many people tune in all over is pretty awesome. And for those that are probably in the chat, I can't see my chat right now, so I'm not ignoring you. I'm sorry, I just can't see it. So I will answer your message if you leave something in the message, but just know I'm not ignoring if you're saying something. All right, then I like to look at viewer age just to see the demographic of age groups. So we got everywhere from 18 to 24-year-olds to 65 plus watching my stuff. That's cool. I don't know what these two would get from my content, but hey, I'm all for it. If you like my stuff, that's awesome. I don't care how old you are. That's so cool. And I've told this story before, but I think it's so funny. So there's a couple, guys that are really big supporters of the channel. They were in my chat one time, and I was like, hey, man, let me buy you guys a cup of coffee. And then I'm asking one of the guys, and he goes, I would drink coffee, but I'm only 13 years old. I was like, oh, dang. So I had no idea that a 13-year-old was tuning into my content, which I found super awesome. That was kind of inspiring a little bit. But my biggest demographic is from the ages 25 to 34-year-olds. Second is 35 to 44. This is my demographic because I'm about to hit 50. So we got 45 to 54, and then we got 55 to 64, that's pretty cool. Now I go to viewer gender. So 75% male, 24% female. I always joke that the female viewership declined after I shaved the beard. But have no fear, people. As you can see, I'm growing the beard back. I got some stubble there. My wife is not happy. She even called me out on it. She's like, are you growing your beard back? And I was like, yeah, I just want it back. I was like, I've had a lot of regrets in my life, but when I had my barber shave it off, that one hurt, and I've regretted it ever since, and I kind of want to grow it back. And I don't care that it makes me look older. I'm okay with that, even though everybody says I'm hiding behind the beard and that I look 10 years younger without it and all that stuff. That doesn't matter to me. I'm happily married. My wife's an amazing wife, and so for me, it's just having the experience, and I just love it. I love the way that I feel with it. I think I get superpowers with it. Like I can do stuff that I normally can't do because I have a beard, like fix irrigation lines that break, which that brings me to a story. We had an irrigation line break on us yesterday that we had to get fixed. I did not do it because I didn't have a beard. I couldn't do it because we paid for the convenience of somebody to come to do it because I just wasn't in the mood to deal with that. And yeah, so it got fixed. But yeah, it flooded our backyard. It was a mess. We got it all fixed. But I probably could have fixed it if I had the beard. Just joking, but I want to think that's true. All right. I digress. Let's go into what I like. Device type, this is cool. It's always mobile phone. I mean, mobile phone is just the king when it comes to how people view content. It's always that high. But computer, TV, tablets, yeah. Second, it's computers. All right. And then the other one I kind of gamified, which is operating system. I'm an Apple fanboy. I got an Apple iPhone, I got a MacBook, I got Apple TV, I got an Apple Watch. So yeah, I would say that I'm an Apple fanboy. I would love it if the iOS was the top spot for operating system, but it's been Android, which is cool. I mean, Androids are awesome, but I would love for Apple to take the top spot, and they haven't for quite some time. I want to say it's been about 11 weeks now that Androids have been in the top spot, but let's see. What about today? It's Android by a margin. Not even a margin. By 1,000 almost, if not more. Yeah, so Android it is. I don't know if iOS will ever get to the top spot again. Man, that is... Oh, well. All right, and that's basically all the things that I like to geek out on when I'm looking at my analytics. I do like to go into... So I'll close this. And I just like to look at the top content for this week. And so for this week, the top content is a short. Here's the thing. All I do is take my long form videos like these lives and whatever YouTube video that I do when it's been a minute since I've done a YouTube video. It's been about a week or two. And I know I'm lacking. I know I'm slacking. I need to get to work to create content, but man, my motivation to create I've been wrestling with that as well, but I'm feeling motivated to start creating more content. And yeah, but anyways, I take the long form video and I just chop it into short forms, and I post those at least a couple times a week, so I'm at least getting some traction on my YouTube channel, so the algorithm has some sort of idea of what to do with my content. Get it into the eyes of the people that actually want to see what I create. But these are all the top videos for this week. The things that I like and to take away from this is a lot of my older videos are getting traction, which that is motivating to me, that people are tuning into my older content. Like this video was done in December of last year, and just the past 48 hours, I think it is, or this week, it's gotten 200 views. That's a lot for somebody like me. I mean, I don't have the numbers of a big creator at all, so when somebody views my stuff in the 200 range, I mean, that's awesome. That just motivates me, and these are my long form videos. 195 for this FX6 video that I did, 119 for this mouse and trackpad video that I did. So that is 54 for I Don't Trust Women. I did this one in 2021, so that was a long time ago, and it got 84 views in this week. So having my older content viewed is kind of like motivating to me, because it's like rolling down. It's like a tiny snowball rolling down a hill. It's going to start picking up traction at some point. Maybe not. It might plateau out. I don't know. That's what I would love to hope, is that it starts building a lot of traction and it will turn into this massive snowball, flying down the hill. But that's kind of how I like to look at it, the analogy that I'm using. So yeah, so there we are. These are the top contents for this week. A lot of cool videos, a lot of my older stuff. So that's a lot of fun. All right, so that is it. Anything else I need to share with you guys? I shared about the irrigation line. Let me hop over here, turn that off, and then pull up the chat to see if anybody has said anything. Dash, what's up, man? I was just talking. Well, I don't want to give anything away, but yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dash, for tuning in, man. I appreciate you, and it's awesome to have you hop into the show, man. I'm glad you made it. You're a stellar dude, man. I appreciate you. I'm assuming you're a dude. I don't know. I want to be careful with that. I don't know if you're a dude, but I'm assuming you're a dude. So I appreciate you regardless. So thank you so much for always being a huge supporter. And yeah, it's awesome. So, all right. Yeah, Sean, man, it was cool seeing you. I need to watch your video, so I'm probably going to watch it after I do my live and check it out. I'm glad you're creating content, man. Keep it up. I enjoy your content, dude. So, and I know you're a dude. I've seen your videos. But yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to share with you guys, but my week's going great. Everything's cool. The cines are beautiful. I'm actually shooting on the Cine 35 right now. Again, I got the Rokinon Xene kit, 14 millimeter all the way to 135. I'm shooting on the 35 right now. That's why my focus might be a little soft, because I can't like fix my focus because my camera is way over there. And but I think it looks really good. I think the image is looking pretty dang good. Yeah, so yeah, I'm impressed. And look, we don't have, these are very budget friendly cinema lenses. I mean, I think we paid $5,000 for a set of 5 lenses that we got. Let's see, 14, 24, 35, 50, 80. No, we got 6 lenses for $5,000. And that's, you know, that's expensive in its own right. But when it's compared to like true Hollywood cinema glass, like an RE or, you know, the Cooks or what other nice cinema lenses, I would love a set of Cook lenses like the SP3s or, but those are like $30,000 for just a handful of lenses. But yeah, these are very budget friendly. And I can already tell what a huge difference between these lenses and my photo lenses. And they just look really creamy and clean. And I love the way the light reflects on them. It just looks beautiful. So, yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much all I got. I'm rambling now. But I appreciate Sean Dash, Josh Diaz. If you don't follow his content, go check that dude's content out. He is a phenomenal creator. The dude is just super inspiring. Hopefully I'm not making him uncomfortable by shouting him out so much. But yeah, the dude is just on another level. But anyway, great seeing you guys. Appreciate you, Dash. You gotta let me know when you get your film done, man. And then let me see it or preview it when you get a chance, when you get it all chopped up and done. I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm excited, you know, for you. And then the next video that should be coming out is a video on this Prescott trip that we just went on. I'll show you the little short we shot. It's probably not going to be more than 10-15 seconds, to be quite honest, but it's short. It's a short. But we shot everything. We shot all 16 shots within an hour, and that's setting up lights, that's doing some gimbal work and running, and yeah, we shot everything in an hour, and we kind of rushed through it because we were tired, but we wanted to create something. So that will be coming here soon. But I look forward to connecting with you guys again next Sunday. And with that being said, man, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Greatly appreciate each and every one of you. So, yeah, I always screw up trying to end this thing. Let me see if I can do it right. All right. Good seeing you, Sean. We'll see you guys later. All right. Stop streaming right here.